Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what happens whenever you get a part and it is completely messed up and it just needs to be completely redone. And so that is pretty much what happened with the supercharged Hemi valve covers here. And so of course we had a customer send these in. Another company had tried to do these and was unsuccessful. And so you can kind of see here real quick on some of this right here. You've got looks like they had tried to do some of the red candy and then do the color fill, and in an attempt to take everything off, of course it is just literally flaking right off. Even with some of these right here, you can tell that literally it's a lot of the coating is just flaking off. And of course we've got bubbling right in here. Definitely not that great of a coating to hold up over time. And so sometimes you will see that because either the shop doesn't know what they're doing or something like that, and or just it could just be a simple fact of they may have known what they're doing, but it may have been a wrong primer or a wrong method that they used to actually put this on here with, and it wasn't the right way that it needed to be done. So this is going to be a little bit different video for us, mainly because we're going to kind of show what you're going to need to do to completely get these from looking like this to looking like what they will at the end of the video whenever you see that. And I think it's going to be a major difference in the way that they look from here to the way that they look from after we're done with it. So hopefully you guys can follow along with a lot of this, but the main thing is on these is that the first thing is of course we got to strip all this off. And so with this right here, we definitely have to use the sandblaster to get everything off. Regrettably, we can't use any actual chemicals on this because it is plastic, and of course it can eat into the plastic, so we definitely don't want to damage the surface on what it already has been. One thing to kind of notice too is that we do have some really deep cuts, and we do have some texture in here that we're going to have to take out. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to first remove all of this existing coating, and then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come in and spray a filler primer over the top of it to completely sand everything out smooth, get everything back to where it needs to look, and then start our process from there in doing that. So let's go ahead and let's get started, and we'll show you guys what we need to do first. So here we go. Alright, so we've got everything all prepped out, all ready to go. We've already painted everything silver, which is going to be the base coat that we're going to be using for whenever we use our candy over the top of it here in just a little bit. So we've got everything prepped out. These came out so much more smoother, a lot nicer. They definitely look 100% better than what they already have been looking before. And so now that we've got that all set up, I went ahead and I've already set these the way that they would actually be setting on the car, which is exactly like this right here. And I've already got my which way that the carbon needs to be running on this back side, so then that way I know visually as I'm dipping it, I can see exactly which way that carbon needs to line up to make sure that everything matches all throughout the entire car. So now that we've got all of that, let's go ahead, let's lay some film on the water. Of course, the film that we're going to be using is going to be the CF282. It's going to be our carbon fiber film that we use on a lot of the projects out there. And so let's go ahead and get started with it. Here we go. so now that we've got everything all dipped, now one thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start wiping away some of the text and some of the lines that are on the part. Now again, we don't really have to do this right now. We could go ahead and spray the candy over the top of this first, but we're going to go ahead and do it now mainly for a couple of things. Number one, if we spray the candy over the top of it first and then we try to start wiping everything down, it's just a lot more layers to take off. Not a big deal, but of course it does take a little bit to stair step all the way down. The other thing is that with this right here, one thing that we can do is go ahead and pretty much wipe it all off now, so then that way it is a lot easier. Whenever we spray the candy, it should all wipe off very quickly, very easily. So we've already sprayed the black and the silver on the parts that we've got here. So the customers wanted black on certain areas of the valve cover itself. So we've got black right here that we've sprayed on the Hemi alone, and then we've got silver metallic that we sprayed on all the bars, the supercharged, and then these bars up here. And so the nice thing that's going to be is that whenever we go to clear coat that, which we've done, we've clear coated everything after we've sprayed the silver here, and then the black here. And then we've come back in, we've scuffed it up after the clear coat was dry, and then we have taken and we have painted the entire thing silver again for the dip to actually stick to it. So definitely want to make sure that you do that. And then now, doing that, we can come back through and wipe off all these areas that we've already clear coated, and it'll make it to where it'll wipe everything off. So then whenever we get down to the clear coat, it doesn't affect it, and then the color still shows through. So let's go ahead and let's get to start wiping everything down. This is not exactly perfect, and that's perfectly fine because we are still going to add that candy over the top of this as well. But you can clearly see from the first part at the top to the second part at the bottom, it already looks 100% better just in the fact that the carbon is completely off of the areas that we clear coated, and now you're able to see what it's going to look like after it gets all finished up. All right, so we've got all these all finished up. After the clear coating, we have pretty much wiped everything off. They came out looking really good. I think the customer is definitely going to like it. So kind of give you a little bit of a recap. We have went through, we did the red candy all through everything. We've wiped off all of these areas right in here to give us that silver look, and then the silver right in here on the bars, as well as the black that's over the top of the Hemi. And it definitely came out looking really, really good. So we're pretty excited about it. Hopefully this video has really helped you out. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. We'd love to hear from you on anything Hydrographics related, as well as let us know what you think on the valve covers. Would you have changed anything? Would you have done anything differently? Definitely love to hear from you on that. Also, if you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips and tricks on anything Hydrographics related. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.